What if the very thing you're searching for, purpose, meaning, the source of your existence, is not a thing at all, but an emptiness? Not a void to be feared, but a womb from which all life emerges. You've been taught to fill your life with achievements, possessions, identities. But what if the most powerful force in the universe is the space you leave unfilled? The Tao calls it the Valley Spirit, the mysterious female, the root of heaven and earth. It never dies because it never tries to be born. And you, in your relentless pursuit of becoming, might have forgotten the art of simply being. Consider the paradox: the more you accumulate, the heavier you become. The more you cling to purpose, the more elusive it grows. This emptiness is not a lack, it is a presence so vast that it cannot be contained. It is the silence between notes that makes music possible, the pause between breaths that gives life rhythm. You have felt it in moments of awe, when the mind stops and something deeper stirs. That stirring is the Valley Spirit calling you home. Let these ancient words settle into your mind like a stone dropping into still water. This is chapter 6 of the Tao Te Ching, attributed to Lao Tzu, written over 2,000 years ago. But its truth is timeless, speaking directly to the emptiness you feel today. Translation: the Valley Spirit never dies. It is called the mysterious female. The gateway of the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. Continuous as if existing, its use is effortless. Let's break this down word by word, image by image. Valley Spirit, Ji Shen. A valley is low, receptive, empty. It doesn't try to be a mountain, it simply receives what flows into it. The spirit here isn't a ghost or deity, but the animating essence, the subtle vitality that makes a valley fertile. This spirit never dies, not because it's immortal in the sense of living forever, but because it was never born. It exists outside the cycle of birth and death. It is the ground of being itself. Then Lao Tzu names it, the mysterious female, Xian Pin. Xian means deep, dark, mysterious. Pin is the female animal, the womb, the receptive principle. This is not about gender in a human sense, it's about the cosmic feminine, the source that gives birth without effort, that nourishes without possessing. The gateway of this mysterious female is the root of heaven and earth. In other words, the entire universe, all of space, time, matter, and consciousness, emerges from this dark, empty, feminine source. And finally, continuous as if existing, its use is effortless. The Tao doesn't push, strain, or struggle. It simply is. And because it is empty, it can contain everything. The valley doesn't hold water by clenching, it holds by being low. The womb doesn't create life by forcing, it receives and nurtures. Effortlessly is not laziness, it's alignment with the natural flow. Think about your own life. How much of your energy is spent on trying to be something, successful, admired, in control? The Valley Spirit invites you to stop trying and start receiving. To become empty so that life can fill you. This is not passivity, it's the most active form of surrender. It's the difference between a river that fights its banks and one that flows to the sea without resistance. Imagine your mind as a cup. If it's full of yesterday's tea, it cannot receive today's fresh brew. The Valley Spirit is the empty cup, always ready, always new. Sit with that emptiness for a moment. Don't try to fill it. Don't analyze it. Just feel the space inside you, the quiet that exists beneath all your thoughts. That space is not a lack. It is the source. Imagine a lake at dawn, perfectly still, reflecting the sky without distortion. Your mind, when empty, reflects reality as it is, without the ripples of judgment, desire, or fear. In that stillness, you touch something primordial. It is not a void, it is full of potential. Every great creation, every act of love, every moment of insight arises from this emptiness. The artist stares at a blank canvas, the musician listens to silence, the lover opens their heart without knowing what will come. This is the Valley Spirit in action, continuous, effortless, and always present. Now, as you breathe, notice the gap between inhalation and exhalation. That gap is the gateway. It is the root of your being. Stay there, even for a second, and you will know what Lao Tzu means. The silence is not empty, it is the womb of all sound. The darkness is not blind, it is the mother of all light. You are not separate from this source, you are its expression, its child, its dance. So sit, and be the valley. Let the world flow into you, and let it flow out again. There is nothing to hold, nothing to lose. Only the continuous, effortless presence of the mysterious female, breathing you into existence moment by moment. Now let's go deeper. The mysterious female is not just a poetic image, it's a direct challenge to how you perceive reality. You live in a world obsessed with the masculine principle, action, achievement, control, visibility. But the Tao points to the feminine as the deeper truth. The visible world arises from the invisible. The sounds you hear emerge from silence. Your thoughts arise from awareness. The root is not a thing, it's the potential for all things. This is the paradox of the Tao, the most powerful force is the one that doesn't assert itself. Water is soft, yet it wears down stone. The valley is low, yet it feeds the mountain. The female is receptive, yet she gives birth to all life. Lao Tzu is asking you to shift your entire orientation, from doing to being, from grasping to allowing, from filling to emptying. Connect this to another Taoist concept, Wu Wei, effortless action. The use is effortless because you're not the door, you're the channel. When you're aligned with the Tao, actions happen through you, not by you. You don't force the river, you become the river. This is why the valley spirit never dies, it's not a thing that can die. It's the formless potential that precedes all forms. And here's the real challenge, this emptiness is not a one-time realization. It's a continuous practice. Continuous as if existing, the Tao is always present, but you have to attune to it moment by moment. It's like background radiation of the universe, always there, but you need the right instrument to detect it. Your mind, when still, is that instrument. Consider the implications for your sense of self. You think you are your thoughts, your body, your history. But the valley spirit suggests you are something deeper, the awareness in which all these appear. You are the space, not the object. The root of heaven and earth is also your root. When you touch that emptiness, you touch the eternal. And you realize you never needed to become anything else. This is the liberation that the Tao offers, you are already complete, not in spite of your emptiness, but because of it. The wave is not separate from the ocean, it is the ocean, rising and falling in endless play. Your life, with all its joys and sorrows, is that play. And behind it all, the valley spirit smiles, knowing that it never began and will never end. This insight is not unique to Taoism. Across traditions, the same truth emerges. In Zen Buddhism, it's called original mind, the mind before thinking, empty and luminous. The Heart Sutra says, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. In Christianity, Meister Eckhart spoke of the God beyond God, the ground of the soul where nothing is known but everything is experienced. In Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius wrote, the universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it, pointing to the inner citadel of awareness that remains untouched by external events. Even modern physics echoes this, at the quantum level, particles emerge from a field of potential. The vacuum is not empty, it's seething with possibility. The mysterious female is the quantum field of consciousness itself. Every culture, every era, has glimpsed this truth, that the source is not a thing, but the capacity for things to be. And it's accessible to you, right now, in the stillness of your own mind. Consider the Sufi poet Rumi, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. That field is the valley spirit. Or the Hindu concept of Brahman, the formless, infinite consciousness that underlies all existence. Or the Kabbalistic Ein Sof, the endless nothing from which creation emanates. These are all different names for the same reality, the womb of being, the root of heaven and earth. The diversity of expressions testifies to the universality of the experience. You do not need to belong to any tradition to touch it. You only need to be still, to be empty, to be the valley. And in that emptiness, you will find that you are not alone. You are connected to every seeker who ever lived, every mystic who ever whispered the secret of the Tao. Their words are signposts, but the journey is yours alone. And it begins with a single breath, a single moment of letting go. How does this help you in your daily life? 3 practical insights. First, when you're overwhelmed by anxiety or ambition, pause and become the valley. Instead of tensing against the feeling, open to it. Let it flow through you without resistance. The valley doesn't reject the storm, it receives the rain. Your peace is not in controlling the weather, but in being the ground. Imagine you are sitting in a busy cafe, deadlines looming, phone buzzing. Instead of reacting, take 3 slow breaths. Feel the space around you, the space inside you. The chaos continues, but you are no longer caught in it. You are the valley, and the noise is just the wind passing through. The more you practice this, the more you realize that your true nature is undisturbed. Anxiety is just a passing cloud, the sky remains blue. Ambition is just a wave, the ocean remains deep. Second, in creativity, trust the empty space. Every writer knows the terror of the blank page. But the blank page is the mysterious female, the womb of possibility. Instead of forcing words, sit in the emptiness and let them come. The greatest art emerges from not knowing. Think of the jazz musician who improvises, trusting the silence between notes. Or the painter who steps back, allowing the canvas to breathe. Creativity is not about filling the void, it's about listening to what the void wants to say. When you stop trying to be original, you become a conduit for the original. The valley spirit doesn't plan its output, it simply gives birth to whatever arises. So next time you face a creative block, don't push. Sit with the emptiness. Let it speak. And when the words come, they will flow with an effortless grace that surprises even you. Third, in relationships, practice receptive presence. You don't need to fix, advise, or impress. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can offer is your undivided attention, the empty space in which another can be fully themselves. That is the gateway to true connection. Think of a time when someone truly listened to you, without judgment, without interrupting. Didn't it feel like a gift? That is the mysterious female in action. When you listen from the valley, you are not your ego, not your opinions, not your agenda. You are pure receptivity. And in that space, the other person can drop their defenses and reveal their true self. This is the root of intimacy, the foundation of love. Effortless use, you don't have to try to be the source. You already are it. Just stop getting in your own way. The valley is always there, waiting. All you have to do is step down from the mountain of your ambitions and rest in the low, fertile ground of your own being. I remember a night sitting by a lake, the water perfectly still, reflecting the moon. There was no separation between sky and water, between the moon and its reflection. In that moment, I felt a profound peace, not because I had achieved something, but because I had stopped achieving. I became the valley, receiving the moonlight without grasping. The mysterious female was not a concept, it was the very texture of that silence. You have had such moments too. Maybe when watching a sunset, or holding a sleeping child, or simply breathing after a long day. In those moments, you touched the root. And you knew, without words, that this is who you really are. Not the striving self, but the silent witness. The Tao never left you, you just forgot to be empty. So tonight, as you lie in bed, feel the space between your breaths. That space is the valley spirit. It's always there, continuous, effortless. You don't need to find it. You only need to stop covering it up with noise. Let the day's worries dissolve into the darkness. Let the future's uncertainties fade into the unknown. In this moment, you are not your past, not your future. You are the emptiness that holds it all. And in that emptiness, there is no fear, no lack, no death. Only the quiet, eternal presence of the mysterious female, cradling you like a mother cradles her child. Rest there. You are home. You are not the wave. You are the ocean pretending to be a wave. The valley spirit never dies because it never tries to live. It simply is. And in that isness, you find the root of everything. So go ahead, be empty. Be low. Be the space that lets the world happen. That is the effortless way. That is the Tao. As you walk through your day, carry this secret in your heart: you are the root of heaven and earth. Not as a belief, but as a direct experience. Let the mysterious female guide your actions, not through force, but through surrender. Let your life be a continuous flowing, like a river that never resists its course. And when you forget, as you will, simply return to the breath, to the space between thoughts. The valley spirit is patient. It has been waiting for you since before time began. And it will welcome you home, again and again, until you realize you never left.